Dolphins fans, you are watching another edition of the Dolphins. You need to stop laughing. Let's run it back. Okay. Dolphins fans, welcome in to this edition of the Dolphins Today Mailbag. I am Will Scott, answering your questions during our Thursday live show. We go live every Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Hope you can join us for next week's show. Our first question is going to come in here in a second, but first, like this video if you are all about the Fins and want more daily Dolphins content. Hit the thumbs up icon below this video. Let's get to like 1,000 likes. I think all of you will enjoy our daily content here on Dolphins Today. S. Gazer, $5 super chat saying, most approved Jason Sanders. Yeah, I think that's a good one, and hopefully he's got a chance to prove himself, because there's a lot of speculation that since his contract is not fully guaranteed and there's no really cap hit, that he could potentially be a cut candidate. We will see, but I definitely agree with you. Look, Jason Sanders sent us to the playoffs with that kick against the Jets, and I said I'd never say another bad thing about Jason Sanders. So hopefully he balls out this year and gets back to the Jason Sanders that we saw a couple years ago. Kevin Fisher, $20 super chat. We appreciate you saying, cheers, fellas. When you look at our offense as a collective, it's hard to say we've gotten incrementally better. Which current offensive player takes the biggest leap this upcoming season? Yeah, it's a great question. Raheem Mostert had a decent year. Hopefully he stays healthy and has a really big year. I think he can. In terms of biggest leap, I would say Eric Ezukanma. Didn't even have a reception in his rookie season. We barely saw him. He was only active for, I think, 1 or 2 games. So hopefully he gets more involved. With no Trent Sherfield, I could see Eazy-E getting a lot of targets on this Dolphins team. I think the sky's the limit for him. Fins up, $5 super chat, saying the tight end from Michigan, hands down, Luke Schoonmaker, right? Yeah. And also, I'm going to a Miami home game this year. Man, we're going to be in studio for all the Dolphins games this year, but certainly let me know when you're at that game. Send me a pic on IG at Willy Fins, and I'll give you a shout-out from the game. But wish I could make it to Hard Rock, man. We'll try to make that happen eventually. Won't budge. Saying we're taking a Darnell Washington, Willie. Man, I hope so. I really like Darnell Washington, but after that spectacular combine that he had, I just don't know if he's going to be on the board at number 51. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. If he's on the board, I want to take him, but not sure he's going to be on the board. He had a great combine, a 4.6, 4.40, 10.2 broad jump, 31-inch vertical, and his athleticism score was 91, which was the second highest amongst all tight ends. So Darnell Washington, man, is a great player, would be a great fit in this Dolphins offense. Do you want to draft Darnell Washington? Type D for draft or type P for pass down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, chime in. Do you want to draft Darnell Washington? S. Gazer saying, what about trading our 84th pick and adding Igbinoghene in a trade to the Texans for the 73rd pick? S. Gazer, we appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the question. I just don't see a world where anybody would trade for Noah Igbinoghene. I just don't think that's possible. I think Igbo's probably going to get cut because you look at the cornerback room right now. You got True Williams coming back. I just don't think there's a spot for Igbo on this team. Kurt LaPlante saying, restructure Ogbah. Yeah, that's a good idea, and I think that's something you have to explore. He's owed like, what, $16 million or something next year? That contract's kind of looking rough right now. So I would certainly look at restructuring Ogbah's contract, try to create some cap space. We got Kavagek saying, there's all this talk about drafting linemen in the second round. But I think we need to draft a running back the most. I think we draft a running back in the second and draft a lineman in the third. Thoughts? So Jahmyr Gibbs was actually mocked to the Dolphins in ESPN's latest mock draft. So that's certainly a target you're looking at. Here's my thing, though. This is a really deep running back class. You're going to have a lot of good options in the third round. I don't know if you're going to have as many offensive lineman options in the third round. You're going to have Cody Mock. You might have a guy like Matthew Bergeron. Those guys are not going to be on the board in the third round. And you re-signed all your running backs, so you don't necessarily have to draft a running back. I still think they might. And I wasn't crazy about them re-signing all their running backs. Like I said, I would have loved to have traded for Derrick Henry or Austin Eckler. It just did not happen, unfortunately. But drafting a running back second round, certainly a possibility. Speaking of that, we got Jay Ruby saying, should we draft Sean Tucker or Jahmyr Gibbs? I mean, I'm biased because I went to Syracuse, so I would say Sean Tucker. And my non-biased take would actually say Sean Tucker's probably the better prospect. And you could get Sean Tucker third round. Here's what I would say to that. Draft an offensive lineman or Darnell Washington second round, and then take a running back like Sean Tucker or Tyjae Spears third round. But if I had to choose between Tucker or Gibbs, I would certainly choose Sean Tucker, and you can probably get him third round. Shiesty Miami 305 saying, what is the possibility that the Dolphins trade for a right tackle? Jonah Williams has been linked as a possible trade target. I mean, he's played left tackle, though, so I don't know how realistic that is. I would really like Jonah Williams, though, and he blocked for 2 at Bama. Probably unlikely they trade for right tackle, but I certainly think they're going to try to sign one. They've been linked to George Fant, who would be a little bit underwhelming of a signing. Han Solo saying, what position should we prioritize in the draft? Tight end, big time. Offensive line, big time. After that, maybe defensive line, interior defensive line, and running back. Those are the 4 positions I'm looking at in terms of what positions the Dolphins should be prioritizing in this year's NFL draft. But tight end and offensive line is huge. Probably my 2 biggest positions of need when you're talking about the Dolphins. Let me know down in the comments, what position should the Dolphins prioritize in the NFL draft? Is it O-line? Is it tight end? Is it running back? Let me know down in the comments section. What position should the Dolphins prioritize in the 2023 NFL draft? Certainly some team needs on this team, but I would say a tight end is certainly up there in terms of positions that the Dolphins should be looking at here in the NFL draft. Dalton Brunson saying, could the Dolphins sign another top free agent? Depends what you mean by top. Like, I don't think they're going to have a huge splash, but are they going to sign other people? Yes, I fully expect them to sign a right tackle. Hopefully that's Cameron Fleming or Isaiah Wynn, because there's been some right tackle options linked to Miami that I'm certainly not crazy about. But yeah, they'll definitely sign other guys, but I don't think we're going to see a huge splash. Carter Jones, are you worried about the Jets? No. Next question. No, I'm not worried about the Jets. They're going to be better. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but that trade is still not finalized. Unboxing 101, $5. We appreciate the super chat. Thoughts on Tua getting his first concussion today? I didn't see this. Where'd you see that unboxing? Yeah, I think that's fake news. I certainly did not see that. Carter Reimer, top 5 Dolphins of all time. Shoot, man. I mean, in no particular order. Dan Marino's obviously on that list. Jason Taylor's on that list. Zach Thomas is probably on that list. Larry Zonka's on that list. And, he's up there. They can't hear you. And then I would say, shoot, man. That's a tough call. Don Shula's up there. Greasy's got to be up there. Bob Greasy. He's got to be up there. Bob Greasy's got to be up there, man. I mean, he was the quarterback of the 1972 team. So Bob Greasy's got to be top 5. So no particular order: Marino, Greasy, Larry Zonka, Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor. Mark Duper's up there too. Brian Owen saying I'm too young to know the top 5. That's probably true, man. That's probably true. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, we're live every Thursday. Hope you can join us for our next Dolphins Live.